Yeah, Yvonne. So in California, we know that the suspect was found dead, according to authorities, in a van. And they believe that as authorities were closing in on that van, the suspect allegedly shot himself. So that's what we know so far. However, we're really starting to get more information as to how the shooting unfolded, what happened behind it. We know that it took place around 10:30 p.m. in California at a dance studio that the alleged shooter had actually been attending in the past. 10 people believed to be in their 50s or 60s, potentially, according to authorities, were killed. And, this is, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but this is becoming, obviously, it has been a very common occurrence here in the United States, these mass shootings. In fact, this is the 33rd mass shooting to take place in the United States this month alone.
Wow, those numbers are really hard to comprehend. What have the president and vice president said? How will they support authorities in California?
Yeah, so we know that the vice president and president said in a statement yesterday, or the president, I should say, said in a statement that they are lowering the flags at half staff around the country to honor those victims. They were very careful to say, look, there's still so much more we don't know about the shooting. More information is coming out. But they are saying that, very much pointing out that it did take place in a very large Asian American community in California, happening obviously over the weekend of the Lunar New Year. So they are very much pointing that out. We don't know if this was a hate crime or related to a hate crime, but authorities say everything is on the table.
Well, let's move on also to other developments. More classified documents have been found at President Joe Biden's Delaware house, and the contents of which haven't been revealed. But what do we know about the find?
Yeah, so we know that this is the latest batch of documents found, amidst this Justice Department investigation with a special counsel probing these documents. Look, it's not a good look for the president. We have seen sort of this drip of documents and information coming out of this investigation. There's been a lot of pushback to the White House's handling of these documents and the investigation themselves, with critics and many in the media saying the White House has not been forthcoming enough. The White House says it is very much cooperating with the news media. But, we have to look at the timing of all of this. We know that President Biden is on the cusp of announcing whether or not he will run for president in 2024. And what's ironic is that former President Trump is also dealing with a Justice Department about classified information being found at his Mar-a-Lago home. I have to be very careful, though, and say there are a lot of differences in these investigations. We know that the Biden administration and President Biden's team was forthcoming and very much went to the Justice Department and authorities immediately, or I should say the National Archives, when these documents were found. With President Trump, there is a bit more of a push and pull there, trying to get those documents back into the hands of the government.
Well, despite a lot of criticism, President Biden says he has no regrets about his conduct, though.
He says he has no regrets. I think you're going to see the administration in its defense say, obviously, they're cooperating with the Justice Department, but saying, look, these documents were secure. It wasn't as if they were out in the public. That being said, though, I think you're starting to see a pattern emerge, Republican, Democrat, any party, that a lot of former officials, whether it be President Trump or President Biden, there's an issue with classified material making their ways with these former officials as they leave office, in President Biden's case when he was leaving the vice presidency. So there's a question as to how these documents are getting into maybe the incorrect hands at the time, or if these documents are being overclassified.
And Julia, other news today also, Kamala Harris marked the 50th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade ruling, calling on federal protections for abortion rights. What can be done here? Specifically, what can the Democrats do to help pass those federal protections?
Well, right now, there isn't much the Democrats can do because we know that there is a divide. Democrats control the Senate, Republicans control the House. Republicans likely in the House would not move on those federal protections. But essentially what she's calling for is an enshrining of Roe v. Wade, or a federal abortion protection at the highest levels of government. Because right now, with the removal of Roe v. Wade, it's up to state governments across the country. And we've already starting to see a patchwork of where abortion is legal, where it's not illegal, where there are exceptions, where there are no exceptions. So she's calling for, an outright protection of abortion access in the United States. Now, like I said, not much can be done in this period of time right now. However, we're already talking about the 2024 elections when the House and seats in the Senate will be up for re-election. So I think she's going to, doing a hint going forward 2 years from now.
Julie Manchester, so much happening there. Thanks for updating us. Our first update from you for the year. So thank you very much.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And to you.